You're watching Conscious Mind Tripping with your host, Audrey Newmont.
Is that not the most fabulous intro for me for this show, Conscious Mind Tripping? The fabulous Ed Hunt has done it to perfection. That was so great. Thank you, Ed Hunt. And welcome to Conscious Mind Tripping. I'm Audrey Newmont, and I have this wonderful, wonderful special guest, Selena Cope, on with me today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Always excited to have you on my show. So I'm going to go into a few quick announcements, and then you guys fasten your little seatbelts because we are going to have so much fun here tonight. I'm in this new studio. We got a whole new format. Isn't it fabulous? Don't you just love it?
So exciting.
So what I wanted to share as far as the announcements, we have coming up on the 2nd of December, we're having an open house. And on that day, you can come in, you can make your favorite scent, and then you can put it in a candle or a spray or just an oil, or you can put it in a bath salt. That's going to be on the 2nd, and we're also going to have it available where you can do some artwork, and all of our products for holiday giving are going to be 20% off. But before that, I have Selena coming in on the 18th. She's going to be in from 2 to 4, and it's going to be a take and make. And I'll have her explain it to you in just a few minutes when she starts talking, because she's better at that. And then on that same day, on the 18th, we're going to have Mary Elizabeth Emmy, and she's going to be channeling We. And if you have not experienced that yet, this is a great opportunity. It's her, and she's got these 2 hours. And the people that we've had experience her, they have been just blown away. She is amazing. She wasn't able to be at our recent psychic panel, so we're creating a special event just for her. And if you missed the psychic panel, wow, they're going to be doing it again in January. So you'll have to mark your calendars when it comes up on the calendar book. And then tomorrow night, I have that life support group that we've been running. If you or somebody you know is having emotional overload with all the stuff that's going on these days, that's the group that you want to take a look at. And then Jason's got his men's group on Tuesdays, and Nick has his mainstream metaphysics on Tuesdays as well. And he's got Brandon Fravel coming up this next Tuesday. So we got all kinds of stuff going on. And in the meantime, we have a show for you here now. So, Selena, yes. I'm going to talk about you for a second.
Okay.
I met Selena. We just realized it was back in 2006. We met when we were both going to HMI. It's the Hypnosis Motivation Institute. And we just met, and I think we just instantly fell in love.
We were friendly.
We were friendly. In fact, we were so friendly that I ended up getting friendlier and married her and her husband a year and some odd later, 2 years later.
Yep.
And Selena is working with us at Newmont Center, and she's just an amazing practitioner. And she does hypnosis, hypnotherapy. She also does energy work. She does all this wide array of things. And sometimes when it's like I need some assistance with somebody or something, she's who I go to. So in tonight's conversation, we're going to be talking about all the different kinds of modalities that her and I do. We're going to be throwing a lot of solutions at you for the different things that many of us are facing right now. And let's get to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What a nice introduction, Audrey. Yes, I'm kind of a jack of all, or a Jane of all trades, but one of my passions is essential oils. And I discovered them when my son was a little baby. I was just posting today, I think it's been 8 years or 9 years on my oil journey.
Wow.
That's a long time. And I discovered them when my son, he was just a little baby, was having some ear pain, and I didn't know how to deal with it. You go to the doctor and they prescribe you all these medications, and as a mom, I'm just reluctant to just immediately give my child a bunch of medication. So my friend Jody, she showed me how doTERRA offers the highest quality essential oils out there, and they're really plant medicines in a bottle. And she showed me how to use them in a safe way to help treat my son when he was having some ear pain. And ever since then, I was wowed.
Well, you totally didn't believe her at first.
I didn't believe her at first because I thought, what is this witchery she's trying to pawn off on me? I was very suspicious. But once I learned, even with the first 3 oils that I started with as a sample, I wanted all of them.
Right.
It became an obsession because I learned you can treat your family in a healthy way, in a natural way, without offering them things from the medicine cabinet first. So sometimes when we're not feeling well, for example, this week my son, he was coming down with something. I was able to help him with some oil regimens on his spine and his feet and just assist him when he was going through this respiratory illness that is going around.
Yeah.
So that was a lot better than rushing to, say, the urgent care, paying a bunch of money, having them prescribe something that may or may not work, or giving them a bunch of medicine from the medicine cabinet that has side effects. So this is how we treat our family.
So I want to have you share some things with people, because even for me, I mean, I've recently been using all of it, or a lot of it, and it's been fabulous. But I think that for a lot of us, number one, it's a lot to get into. It's a lot of information. Like when she was
Right.
recently doing an aromatherapy class with us, it was like, wow, I didn't know it did that. And I didn't know it did that. I didn't know all of these things. And I've already been using it. So I want you to start by, in regular language, explaining to people how aromatherapy literally affects the brain. And then we'll get into how the herbs can affect the different parts of your body.
Sure. So, we smell something and it gives us a feeling, right? That's immediately affecting our brain and affecting our body and affecting our mood. It can even help regulate our blood pressure, our heart rate, according to what we're smelling. Some smells are repulsive and some smells are attractive. There are certain smells that some bitters people are just repulsed by, but then sweet smelling things like, say, jasmine or wild orange, they're attracted to. And it might be effective for them to smell it when they're going through something emotionally to help sort of balance out their mood. Mm-hmm. Now, with my clients, I've noticed recently that people are really just kind of going through a lot. And they're getting these anxious feelings and they don't know how to deal with them. So in addition to learning how to breathe and handle those constructively in a therapeutic way, I refer them to some essential oils so that they can get that benefit of sort of smelling them in their hands, diffusing them in an oil diffuser, and it helps change their mood rather quickly.
Right.
It's also great for moms when you want to balance the moods of your children in your home. When people are acting a little crazy or you want to calm everyone down, there are certain oils that are more calming than others, and we put those in the diffuser and then, suddenly everyone's tired and it's time for bed, and then
Right.
good night.
Right.
But then in the morning, I really like mint. So I put mint on first thing in the morning. Let's get everyone up. Let's get them invigorated and out the door for school. So, you can really play with moods a lot when it comes to aromatherapy because it is quite fast how it works. It's very effective as well.
Well, it's that part that it hits that part of the brain where it's like, all right, let's calm down, or let's energize, let's find that peace. And I think that's an important part that people miss. I mean, it's like we get affected by so much that's going on in the environment.
Right.
And they bring up those, like as an example, and this isn't about aromatherapy, but it's like, I grew up in Florida, so when we have a good rain and that beginning part of the rain, it brings up that nostalgic kind of like,
Yes.
that feeling.
I love that smell. That's one of my favorite smells.
Right?
The first rain.
And fresh cut grass.
Grass, dirt is another one.
Right?
I'm really into wood, the smell of wood. In fact, I was having a moment.
We were just doing this. We were
oiling
You can't
up.
be in here and smell what we were like smelling like, but tell them about this, because this is like, I mean, you put it up to your face, and her and I like camping, and we were just talking about that before we started, and we're smelling this. Put a little more on there, buddy. All right, there. So we're smelling this, and it's like, it just brings me to the sequoias, and it gives me
Right.
that like feeling. And sometimes I think it's important to, especially when they're in the middle of the stuff,
In the throes of it.
what brings you that feeling of comfort, and what brings you that feeling of calm,
Right. So I created this blend. It's a custom blend. And that's the great part. I can make up any scent I want. It's really potion making, to be honest with you.
Right.
So I get into my potion making. And this one was frankincense, arbovitae, cedarwood, and black spruce. And you can imagine, that's like we're in Big Sur. We are in the forest. I'm sniffing a sequoia redwood tree
Right.
when I'm smelling this.
I gotta say, I love that smell.
Yeah, I'll have to make you one. It's addicting. It makes my mouth water just smelling it.
It's weird,
It
right?
is strange, but it's a little sweet. But yeah, all woods.
So for another one, where is it? The adaptive.
The adaptive. I didn't bring the oil, but I brought the calming capsules, which are really great for anxious feelings. In fact, there's an oil that goes along with it. I like to take these before bedtime. It's called the calming blend, and boy, does it ever calm you down quickly. If you're struggling with those types of feelings, I suggest the adaptive roll-on. Just put it on and start smelling. If you need the next step, there's the pill form, which is really effective. It has gamma in it, which is very calming. Yeah, so I take it in the evening because it's so calming that I just go to sleep. But some people need this in the daytime just to function and get through their day. And this is a nice alternative to, say, something over the counter that you might take to calm down.
So I have that in my office. Actually, I ended up giving it away and I ordered another one. But I have it in my office, and we do this thing where you put a drop in your hand. Here, let's just show everybody.
We're gonna do that with Breathe.
We're going to do it with Breathe.
The respiratory blend, which is great for any sort of respiratory stuff that you have going on. It really opens up your airway.
So you rub your hands together. So imagine I'm in my office and I've got somebody who's not so calm. All right? I put a drop in their hand, and then you make like a cup with it. I don't know if you can see it, but you make a little cup, and then it's like, and you're breathing in this calm. Right now we're breathing in Breathe, so it's like, woo, waking ourselves up here.
It's nice, and it wakes you up. Sometimes with myself, I have allergies. It's really windy today, and I was having some respiratory stuff going on. So really doing that, it gets in the mucosa of your throat down into your lungs, and it helps open up those air passageways so that you can breathe better. But yes, sinus relief also. Smelling it into your nose, but inhaling it, you get the feeling inside your mouth and down your throat, so it's a soothing effect as well.
I was breathing it in through my nose. I didn't breathe it in through my mouth.
Oh, either way is good.
Woo! Yes, that's good.
It is good. It's very soothing.
And I think that's something that's important is like when you're breathing all of these things, it's all natural. Like this comes
Right.
from the peppermint plant, which is
Right.
grown in the ground. And it's all natural. It's all a high grade of it. And I was talking about on my last show something that I want to bring up again as we're busy inhaling all of this stuff. There's all these products now that, like for instance, I was talking about Febreze. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying all this,
Well,
but it doesn't matter. But
things we
I know,
use to
thinking
make
about it.
things we use to make our house smell.
But that one in
some
particular,
sort of way, yeah.
that one in particular. So when we're breathing those things in, it's not breathing in this natural scent. And then you said on the comments last week
Right.
that it is a neurotoxin.
Neurotoxin, so it's poisonous to your brain.
What does it do?
It's actually killing your brain cells. And so when you're spraying it on your clothes. For myself, I'm very sensitive to that. I get a headache. I feel sick to my stomach. I'm allergic to it. It makes my skin itch. And the more that these products come out, we're finding that people are highly sensitive to these artificial fragrances. And so we have to be careful when we're spraying them in our homes because we're in a container. And we're in this environment where there's not a lot of air circulation. So it's just on top and on top and on top of each other, and it's poisoning us. And if you're spraying that on your clothes and then going out in public, you're subjecting other people to it as well,
Right.
including your children and your pets.
Right.
Another place is plug-in devices that scent your home.
Yep.
So this is why we diffuse oils instead. It's a natural herb, the oil from the essence of the plant that we're diffusing, instead of artificial fragrance. Much safer.
I have to say, you were saying all that, and it reminded me, many of you know I used to be a hair designer, and I used to work out of the house. And in especially the winter time, I'd be working in the kitchen, and all the windows are shut, and I'm breathing that stuff in. The hair is here with the chemicals. They're just breathing it in all day long. And by the end of the day, I had no idea why I felt so bad. And I thought in my mind I'm going through perimenopause, and it was just like awful. And then finally, going to Jeff Sherman, I understood I'm breathing in these toxins all day. And it was such a eye-opener. So I think it's important to recognize it's not just in the air, the fresheners and things like that. You really want to look around your house. Like, for instance, they have like a counter cleaner. And it cleans the counter really good. It makes it smell good. And again, it's not something toxic that you're spraying into the air. I think for many of us, we just don't think about it. It never entered our mind. Like when I was a kid, I was remembering my mother would have me cleaning with bleach.
Right,
Like
bleach.
straight bleach.
I was
and
a
my
bleach
hands,
woman too.
Right?
I was into it. And one day I was cleaning my floors, and it was my small, tiny Ruby daughter that said, "Well, Mom, if we're walking around on these floors after you just clean them, am I getting the chemicals in my body through my feet?" Oh my, I had never thought of that, but I was.
Right.
Poisoning my kids through their feet with whatever I was spraying on the floor.
Right.
So it was easy for me to make a switch when I realized all these little things matter.
Yeah. And especially because we're all in our environment, we're breathing in so many things. So the reason why you want to look at this, and whether you get doTERRA or anything else, I mean, there's
Sure.
other products out there that are very good and reasonable, but you want to look at all of it because we're in an environment right now, all the doctors that I know, my holistic team, and various other things that I look at online, it's like we're being inundated on so many levels. So the more that you can mitigate the damage and use something that is a natural approach, the better it's going to be.
The better it's going to be for yourself, for your families, for your pets. And, for me, I found that just going in the store to shop for these products was challenging because if I go down the laundry soap aisle, I can't breathe. I feel like I need my asthma inhaler. I'm gasping for air. And I started avoiding shopping in stores because of the smells of just the chemical aisles of the products. And those are closed bottles.
Right.
Right? So, doTERRA took sort of that trouble away because I'm getting something that's cleaner ingredients, natural. It doesn't have this strong chemical smell that makes me feel sick, and it's shipped straight to my house, which is great. I don't have to be subjected to the store where I might overspend and buy other things because I just want to hurry and get out of there,
Right.
And I trust the science that's behind it too, because they come with a guarantee for all of their products.
Right. Place that used to drive me crazy, I would not be able to be in there for long, especially when I was really sick. Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one, you know which one it is. It's the one in the stores. It's got a high smell to it.
Oh, some
What
of
is
them are
the
just
name
too
of
much.
it?
I'm not sure,
It's
but
with all the scents.
I'm very sensitive to all of this.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
I've
At any rate,
I've left with a rash just from walking down the detergent aisle.
right?
Oh yeah, hives suddenly. I'm like, what's going on? It was overload for my body.
So now you don't because you're not doing that.
Rarely do I even go in a place like that. I don't need to.
Right.
I've made changes and adjustments. One great thing I shared with you tonight was just furniture polish. You can use lemon oil or wild orange essential oil, and then you smell wild orange.
Right.
You don't need these sprays in an aerosol bottle.
So she had me, I placed an order and I got that wild orange, didn't I? I ordered that, didn't I?
You might already have it, but
At any rate, I love the idea of cleaning with that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And we have changed over all our products, and our house is clean, and it smells good, and I'm not choking on
You're
anything.
not sick, and you're touching it, and you're getting the benefit because it's dermal absorption too. So, when you're touching something, cleaning products, anything, it goes in your skin.
Right.
I don't think people realize that sometimes. So you have to be careful. What are you touching? What's against your skin?
Right? It's amazing.
It really is.
So I want you to talk about On Guard next.
Oh, one of my favorite products.
I love that stuff. So I've always used, well, for many years now, used Very Natural toothpaste. And I started using this On Guard toothpaste, and they've got a mouthwash. It's got clove in it. It's also got some other stuff. So
Some cinnamon, some wild orange.
it's amazing. But tell them
Right.
what else it does and explain what you've got going over
So
there.
On Guard is the protecting blend, and this is one of my favorites. It's a throat drop. So because of the clove, it has sort of a numbing feeling to it, clove. So it's very low in sugar, first of all. So I think one of these is 15 calories. So if you're feeling like a tickle in your throat, the protective blend is great because you're getting that soothing effect in your throat from the clove oil, and it tastes really good. To me, it's like a candy. I have to keep these from my kids. They think they're candy. They'll eat them like candy. But On Guard comes in the oil, which you can diffuse. So if people in your home are going through an illness, it's great to diffuse the On Guard because it's actually cleaning your air through the water of the diffusing water with the On Guard. And so, keeping down those sort of bacterias that are going around when people are coughing. Most of the years I give my son's teacher a diffuser and On Guard oil for when everyone is feeling ill, and
Smart.
she just puts it in, and then, some people it's too much for them and we water it down or we add some wild orange to it.
That's a
But,
good idea.
Yeah, I really just love the cinnamony, clovey, orange smell of it.
Nick recently had a cold, and we were we were diffusing that with the Breathe.
Right.
And it was really
Oh,
helpful.
together, I haven't tried that.
Yeah, and he was doing much better with that.
Great.
Excellent.
Another way to use it is to put it on your back with a little coconut oil, because it is going into your central nervous system and helping you regulate through your spinal column. So,
Explain that in a little bit more detail, because people don't get that piece as well. We don't
Sure.
get taught this stuff
I
in
know.
school.
So dermal absorption, right? So if it touches your skin, it's going in. I forget how many seconds. I want to say it's like within 10 seconds, it's crossing the cellular membrane. So you're taking it in and it's being absorbed into your body, and it's giving you the effect of the plant medicine portion
Wow.
of it. So a great place to put it if you don't want it on your body is the bottom of your feet. That's where the largest pores of your body are. And
It's not right here on my face.
well, I mean, no, it's not. It's not. We may think that as ladies, but it definitely is not. It's our feet, and it's a great place to put oils and then put some socks on and go to bed. So if you're feeling some kind of way, oil up the bottoms of your feet. I like to put oregano there because it's very strong, but it's very effective.
All right, so I can't stand the smell of that stuff personally, but
I love it.
So explain. So isn't there oregano oil in the On Guard caplets too? All right, so
Yes,
you
there
got to
is,
hear
absolutely.
this, because the earth knows how to heal us.
Right.
The earth grows all of this stuff, and that's what doTERRA is. It's stuff that's grown in the earth that's there to heal us. So oregano is a huge big deal because
Right. Well, it's a powerful antiviral effect. So even if you couldn't possibly eat so much of that plant to get the effect that you would with just a few drops of oregano oil. It's something like 10 times the amount from a drop. I forget the exact
So
number. but-
explain what it does, though. People don't know.
So it's actively
sometimes.
working in your body to help support your immune system.
Okay.
Right? So if you're actively not feeling well, or if you feel like something's coming on, it's a great line of defense to put those oils on before you go to bed, because that's when your body is in its healing mode. You're resting and your body can just sort of go into repair mode. That's the default button is nighttime. So I suggest to do that in the evening. For example, my son, while he was not feeling well this week, I think it was 5 different oils I was applying to his back. Frankincense was one of them. Rosemary was another. Roman chamomile and melissa. And then on his feet was on guard and oregano. And it was funny because he loves it so much. He's been getting it since he was a baby. So he's like, come put oils on me, mommy, and he just lays down and surrenders. But doTERRA makes it nice and easy with the roll-on bottles, pre-diluted, so that if you don't want to drop them out and massage them on, you can just swipe them when they're running away from you.
Swipe and go.
Swipe and go. And that's another great point, the easy swipe, because they can do it themselves.
Right.
So you're actually empowering your kids to help themselves, which is really important.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. You don't have it here, but they have this Deep Blue.
Oh, Deep Blue Rub, another great product.
Oh, so that one, they have it in a tube kind of thing, and I can just rub that on my back. And again, it's just peppermint. And
it's about 6 different oils.
Well,
one of the oils
smells
in
like
it,
peppermint.
it smells minty. I think there's wintergreen. I can't remember exactly all of them. There's probably 10 different oils in there, but copaiba, blue tansy, wintergreen, peppermint. So it's very soothing. In fact, it's a great oil. It's a great one I give to women when they're having labor.
I tried to put it on my daughter's back the other night. I was massaging her, and I said, let me put some of this Deep Blue on it. No, she wouldn't let me.
That's okay. You have to wait till she's in pain and she's surrendering.
She was in pain.
Wait till
she
she
wasn't
surrenders.
surrendering.
She's got to surrender. Yeah, Deep Blue's great. Another great use. I gave Deep Blue as a sample to someone, and then they got ill and they couldn't breathe, and they were using it just on their body for respiratory as well, because it is a strong minty sort of smell, wintergreen. And I'd never used it that way because I had breathe, but that's all they had, and so they were like, Deep Blue is great when you feel like you can't. Opens your sinuses right up.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is a great way to use it too. Didn't use it that way before though.
When you think about it, we've been living for our lives with like the Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's in there.
Yeah, petroleum.
See?
Petroleum, that's another great thing, There's a breathe stick, which is a trade-off for that rub, that vapor rub, other vapor rubs as well. But most of the time, that ingredient is petroleum, number 1. And menthol, some other things.
Our body was not designed to process petroleum. It just wasn't.
I personally try not to put things in my body that would go in my car.
Right.
But people do that still. They just don't know another way exists.
Right. And that's why I do this show, to be clear. That's exactly why I do these kind of shows, because for all of those years, into my 50s, I had no idea. And then I met Jeff Sherman, and he starts telling me, your lymphatic system's a mess. Well, It's because I've been living in a toxic soup for most of my life. So the reason I say all of this is because I think it's wildly important for people to be aware and to have these solutions. And again, whether you do doTERRA or you do something else, it doesn't matter. You just want to get a really good quality of whatever it is that you're using. And this is probably one of the best qualities there is.
So doTERRA carries the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade label, CPTG. So that tells you it's been tested as well. You could literally go onto the doTERRA website. You could look up this number, and it's going to show you all the testing that was done on this oil that was poured into this bottle. It also has an expiration date, just like a medication would.
Wow.
Right? And some oils, they expire, but they're still great. They still have the same potency. For example, Arbovitae, I like it to sit on the shelf a little bit. When it ages, it changes and
like
becomes sweeter.
Wine.
It's a fine wine. It just changes a little, but most of the time my oils never expire. We use them up way before they're going to expire. So yeah,
that's good to know.
Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, that's the highest quality that you can get. And of course there are other brands out there. What I can tell you about other brands, stay clear of the ones you're going to buy at the store that might say flammable or do not put on your body, right?
Oh.
Yeah, but people buy those all the time because they want their house to smell good. So when I talk about oil usage and putting them on your body and transdermal absorption, and some of them are even safe for you to put in water or ingest, I wouldn't do that with all those other oils out there. This is the one I trust that to be that medicinal quality.
Well, that's why we brought you in. I mean, we've got a whole array of oils. I mean,
Right.
when I was first thinking about it, it was like, well, we have a whole array of oils, but we don't have the ingestible and those kind of things where you want to,
Sure.
use, like, for instance, the other thing that you have, talk about the PB Assist.
Oh, PB Assist. So this is actually a new product. So as we are all learning, I think most people are coming to terms with how important our microbiome is of our gut.
Gut health, and
Right.
the thing I was talking about last week.
What does the gut affect? Our brain function. So probiotics, I was late to the game, I'll be honest.
Me too.
I don't like taking pills. I don't like things. I'm a naturalist. But probiotics, they're a game changer.
Right.
Now, they just recently came out with this that is a higher dose of probiotic, and it's in a glass bottle, which is really nice. So as you can see, it's not even open. I just got it today in the mail. But I was so excited to share because everyone needs to take probiotics, even our kids. And doTERRA has this great PB Assist that is in this little pouch, which to my son, it's like a pixie stick. And he just, today when it came in the mail, he popped it right open and down the hatch. He was
really?
into it. Yeah, and the flavor of this one is strawberry melon. And so I don't have to fight him to take it. Take this. You need it. It's good for your body. He just was ready to go.
So explain why these kind of probiotics are good in the body. What is it actually doing? Because I think that many of us don't know that, don't understand.
So it's restoring your gut flora, which is the good bacteria that grows inside of your belly. Now, for some people, they need to do a cleanse first, and we offer those items also. In fact, Nick recently suggested after one of my healing sessions that I do a good gut cleanse. And so I went through a little gut cleanse with some of our doTERRA products for that. And then I reintroduced good bacteria into my body with probiotics. So it's important that we are always restoring that microbiome. And sometimes we eat foods that just really take us out of whack. Raw fish is one that's a trigger for people. I personally stay away from it now. I'm suspicious of it. Sushi. I love sushi,
I love
but
my sushi.
it's something about it each time isn't for me.
I get it.
And some people have problems with being regular with their bowel movements. We're going to talk a little bit about bowel movements now. And, it gets stuck and they can't move it along or move it through. They probably need to do a gut cleanse and then reintroduce good probiotics into their body, good gut flora. And another thing that is really helpful for that, anything digestion, is peppermint beadlets.
Peppermint is good for everything.
Oh my God, I'm addicted to peppermint.
Seriously. For a while there, I couldn't find a good deodorant, so I put some lavender and peppermint in my hand.
Yeah.
And then I would use that.
It's very invigorating.
It is invigorating. And sometimes when you get a little heavy on the peppermint and I just shaved, it's like, woo! But I'm telling you, it has a good effect.
Right. So I take these every single day. It's a peppermint soft gel, which is a larger soft gel, a dose of peppermint. Mm-hmm. But right before we went on, we were kind of smacking our lips and trying to get ready for all of our talking. And I like these little beadlets. I keep them in my purse, and they're great if you need to freshen up your breath, or if you feel like you need a little peppermint on the go. You've got just one little beadlet to take. Look at that.
So it's like this
like a
little
drop.
tiny little beadlet.
It's
You can't
a tiny
even
boba.
see it. It's so tiny that you can't even see it. And you just pop it in there, and you can just let it dissolve, or you bite it, and it's like this, like...
Very
right?
minty, very minty.
Woo!
But one of the great things about the beadlets is if my tiny son, who's 9 years old, feels a tummy problem, he can swallow one of these, and it's like a tiny pill instead of this larger dose.
Oh, and he doesn't probably need as much as a larger dose.
He doesn't need as much.
So
He's a small guy. He's only like 55 pounds.
And if he's ingesting it like that, he doesn't have that woo in the
No,
mouth.
but he
kind of
likes
thing.
it. My kids love essential oils. Now, On Guard comes this way as well.
Okay.
Okay, so if he needs On Guard because he's not feeling well, there's also a chewable, but he likes the beadlets. So we keep the beadlets for him, and it's his tiny pill. And he just takes it.
While we're talking about it, I just want to say, when I was first looking at all this, I was like, it's going to be wildly expensive.
Right.
It's not at all. You know what? The prices for all of these things are way comparable. In fact, on some of them, I think less, and they're better quality than you would get in the store.
Right. Well, I mean, if you were to go buy peppermint like this in the store, it's probably double the cost, and who knows what the ingredients are.
Yeah.
You know, I trust that this, again, it has that code on the bottom. I can look up and see the testing that was done on this plant material that's inside this peppermint.
That's cool.
And it has an expiration date, and I know this is trusted, high quality.
That's very cool.
It is absolutely cool.
So what else have we got?
What else do I have over here? Well, I mean, we got to share our lip gloss.
But here's the thing, guys. You can't get one of these right
it's
now.
sold out so quickly because, you know, doTERRA does focus on beauty products occasionally, a little bit. We have skincare. Amazing skincare, by the way.
Oh, wait. No, we got to talk about that skincare real quick first.
But lip gloss.
I was telling you all last week that I was using this product that I've always used, and it was a new bottle, and it smelled, seriously, it had a petroleum smell to it.
Right, it probably has petroleum in it.
Oh my God, and they must have did an extra pump in the one that I was using. So I've been using this line because I got the whole thing, and it's got a scrub, it's got a face wash, this serum. I'm loving it.
I love it, and it smells good.
It does smell good.
It has frankincense in it.
And it doesn't bother my eyes.
Nope.
I've been loving it. So just wanted to do a little shout out for that.
And you are glowing. You are glowing. Right. So the lip gloss came out as part of the holiday collection, and it I've only ever discovered it during holiday time, and I sort of hoarded it this year and bought my 4 packages of it, but I was nice and shared with my friend and gave her one.
It's ginger. It's got a ginger scent to it.
And it's got a nice ginger
so again, this is
color.
one of those things that it's on our lips. It goes into our mouth. And to be clear, I'm pretty sure
no petroleum.
There's a lot of information out there about the different things that have lead in it.
Absolutely.
And this has none of that stuff. So you can slather away and you can eat it, and it's not going to be a problem.
Right.
Love that. And it looks good.
And on that note, that I'm going to switch to how I'm having my sugar scrub class, my workshop. Didn't really talk about that yet, but so November 18th after Mary Elizabeth. So if you're going to see Mary Elizabeth, stay and make a gift for yourself or a gift for a loved one. We're going to have body sugar scrub make and take and lip scrub. And I have essential oils for that and sugar. Everything's organic and of the highest quality. Gorgeous little glass bottles to put it in, little lip scrub bottles as well, and labels, and flowers that are crushed to add to make it pretty. So, you know.
There's also, along with the flowers, there's
oils.
And orange
definitely.
little bits.
Crushed orange peel, and we'll use wild orange oil with some peppermint, or you can do, one of my favorites is wild orange with lavender. And in the body scrub, it's really nice because it helps you exfoliate your skin, and it adds a little moisture with the oils. So,
and you smell good.
And you smell good, and you're not concerned that you bought something from one of these mainstream stores where who knows what the ingredients are. I'm pretty sure number 1 is fragrance oil. Yeah. And so you trust it. And so I gave some to my grandmother, and she thought it was for her coffee and took a scoop and put it right in. And she had been eating it that way for a while in her coffee. She thought it was for her coffee. I don't know. She didn't read the label. But she, it's trusted that way too. It was essential
So when you
oils.
give it to your loved one, you say, it's for your skin, but if you want to throw it in your coffee.
You could. It's safe. It's safe to do.
Actually, that would be kind of tasty to make a tea and put some lavender and orange in your tea.
You absolutely could. I've made lavender lemonade. That's one of my favorites. And if you come to the workshop and do the make and take, I'm going to bring a little snack that has essential oils in it too. So come try that out.
And I'm going to make a iced tea with lavender and a little bit of orange. I'm going to make that. We'll have some fun little snacky things there.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun.
I'm excited for it. I love make and takes because it really showcases how you can make these things on your own. You don't have to go buy them at a store. And, the love that you put in it is truly the gift when it's for your friend or for
Right?
yourself.
And
The
it makes a
love.
unique gift.
It's totally unique. I love sugar scrub, hand scrub. The lip scrub was unique. We forget to exfoliate our lips, but you got to have a good kisser, so you got to exfoliate your lip skins too.
Exfoliated in a while. So what is going on over there with the holiday things?
Oh, so the holiday stuff just came out in November, and I got to say it moves quickly. Us doTERRA wellness advocates, we get very excited when the holiday stuff comes out. And, I try to let everyone know you need to shop immediately
Well,
because
she tried to warn me about
it does
this
sell
lip
out.
gloss.
But one of the new things that came out this year that I'm excited about is this little oil trio. And it has 3 essential oils in it for the holidays. There's Holiday Joy, Holiday Peace, and Holiday Love. And Holiday Love is a newer oil, but I love it. It's my new love. It smells a little woodsy, but you get that sort of cinnamony, Christmassy kind of smell as well. And, I remember in the beginning when I was first doing oils, I was all about using them for my kids, but I forgot that there's some joy in using them for yourself too.
Right.
And I was going through something, I forget, it's the middle of summer, and I was in a moment where I wasn't feeling so great. And I remembered that Holiday Joy, it has joy in it. It says joy right on the bottle. And really diffusing the Holiday Joy, even when it wasn't the holidays, kind of brought me out of a funk that I was in and propelled me to some more joyful feelings. Because, it can be Christmas anytime. It doesn't have
Right.
to just be in December.
Right?
So this is a nice little trio of oils for yourself or that you could buy as a gift for someone. And it comes in this adorable little box. Look at that. I just love it. I love little gifts like this.
Well, we at our house, Nick has such a good time. I think he's on there tonight. He has a very good time putting up the Christmas lights and everything. So we're going to be burning the oils, burning all the different scents.
Let's diffuse the oils. You can heat oils.
I meant diffusing them. In my mind, I go to burning, but it's diffusing.
So if you were interested in warming the oils, I love simmer pots. Do you do simmer pots at the holiday times? Oh, I'll make you a gift of a simmer pot mix. And it's just dried fruits and dried plant material with a little bit of essential oil, and you just warm it in. I have a little cauldron that I use that's like a warmer like you do oils in, the melts. You know the melts. Yeah. But you can do it in a big pot on your stove too, and it smells so good.
I have a little tiny crock pot.
Little tiny crock pots work just fine as simmer pots. But to freshen
to get
it
a
up,
simmer pot now.
I do orange peels. I just, throw, you can throw just about anything, cranberries, and then a couple drops of oils, and it smells
like just
so
from an
good.
orange, like an orange peel.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And just throw those things in
Throw
there. Like
them
if
all
I eat
together.
a grapefruit, just throw it in there.
Yeah, why not? Sometimes I dry them out and keep them for later, but it doesn't have to be dry. It can be...
I eat grapefruit all the time. I'm going to start saving those
I
things.
rosemary from your garden is a nice one, too. Rosemary's great for brain function as well. So
that's an important thing,
get that brain functioning.
There's all these things that help with this guy. So cleaning out the gut and all these different things that you can ingest, that you can breathe in. The brain, especially right now, it's a really important time to have that clarity going. So
absolutely. We get very overloaded. I know
is
there's a
an
lot
overload.
of overload going on, and it comes at us from many angles. So one great thing about oils is when you're smelling it, you're breathing. You're taking a deep breath. You're getting the oxygen that you need.
Right?
People forget to breathe.
Look who's there.
Oh, we've got some friends joining us.
Jennifer's in the house.
Hello, Jennifer.
And Becca's in the house.
Oh, hello, Becca. And I see Nick as well.
We can all take a minute and just do something. Sometimes we want to do things for other people. Sometimes we want to be kind with other people. And Jennifer I'm telling you, girlfriend, you have just gone through the ringer with some stuff lately. Yeah. And I know Selena's helping you out, and I'm helping you, and you've got some other people on our team that are helping you and holding you in the highest. So
absolutely.
If you guys are watching this, hold Jennifer in the highest. I mean, she's just had a moment. Sometimes we don't appreciate this vehicle that's carrying us around. And her vehicle keeps having these like breakdowns on the side of the road. And so I want us all to hold you in the highest and really send you a lot of love and light right now as you're working through this health challenge.
Absolutely.
And want you to know that we're definitely thinking about you, Jen.
Thank you.
And
She needs that right now.
Yeah,
I know.
loving you.
I'm going to do some Reiki for her in the morning.
tell everybody what you do with that too, because you are just like this.
So for me, at the beginning of the year, I've always done energy work. It's been something that's been a passion for me for years. And I learned the crystal healing technique through Nick's classes, which have been quite beneficial for myself and others. And I use it in my practice. But one thing for me was learning Reiki and finishing my Reiki mastery. That was very important to me because it's just another energy movement modality. And everyone needs a little energy movement. We all get stuck and things get stuck in our body. But at the beginning of the year, I set the intention to do distant healing because more and more people were unable to be with me in person. And it was really important that I could still help people from far away. So after learning lots of different techniques and doing a lot of studying and helping people in that way, I really was able to identify through my friend Meryl, who is my Reiki master, how to help people through Reiki in a distant way. And that has just really been quite beneficial to people who can't be in person. And I got to say, I get excited, I get a little emotional when I talk about it because every time I've done it so far, I've been spot on about tuning into people's bodies and being able to really just sort of do a psychic intuitive, medical intuitive reading of their body and let them know things that are going on or where they're at so that they can seek further help if they need it. And I just can gently, with Reiki, move these things through their bodies so that they are able to have some relief with whatever it is that they're going through, but not even being in person.
Right.
We're in the quantum. And that's the amazing part. We're in the quantum realm. You can be anywhere and we can connect with each other. And that just tells me how we affect everyone all over the world.
Right.
Just with our feelings and our thoughts, our prayers, what we're thinking. We're affecting everyone. So we are responsible for holding that vibration of peace and healing for ourselves, for others, and it reverberates to the entire world and universe.
Right?
That's so powerful to me. I get so excited talking about
It
that.
is
I have
powerful.
chills.
So when I'm asking you all to hold Jennifer in the highest, that means your heart is putting out this wave of energy in this electromagnetic field that we all live in.
Absolutely.
So just as much as you're seeing this and there's no strings attached, we have our phone, there's no strings attached, but we're all getting that communication, we're all giving that communication. It's the same thing. So quantum healing is I think in this moment, not only in us being able to do it physically and having that
Sure.
awareness, having that understanding and that ability to do that. You do it, Nick does it. You know, there's various people that really are gifted at that process. And it is a
Right.
process, right?
It's a process, but it can happen immediately. It can be instant, and it affects the past, the present, the future. It's all at once happening, and that's the special part. You know, there are times when I've done Reiki for someone and they don't know what time of day that I'm doing it. They put in the request in the morning, and then at some time during the day, I sit down and I set up my situation with my altar and I tap into them, and they're like, at this time, I experienced XYZ. And I'm like, oh, that's when I was working on you. So it's a really great confirmation. But, you know, there are times when it happens almost instantly just because they've said they've wanted it. And I'm like, oh, well, I was praying about them yesterday. So somehow they tapped into that there too. And then I do this thing that's really special. For example, I had someone that was in the hospital recently, and she was in ICU, and she was very, very sick. And her family was just thinking the absolute worst was going to happen. Well, I tapped into her body in Reiki. I was able to let them know what was going on. I told them questions to ask the doctor according to her body, and they were able to help her in a different way. And now she's at home, and I hold her in a crystal grid. So before I had only learned to do crystal grid on someone in person. Now I set up a person crystal grid at home. I put them in a space with crystals all around their body, and I tap into them in a Reiki way in a crystal grid. But we're not together. We're in distance. So
Isn't that wild?
it's wild and it's beautiful. And like I said, I still get emotional because I think about all the people we can help if more people know that that's possible,
Right.
and they just try to do it.
So if you're watching this and you live somewhere other than the LA area, here's your girl.
I'm happy to help. I
And
love
you're-
doing it. It feels so good for everyone.
Right? And she's in a medical intuitive. So
Right.
that means if you've got something that's going on with your body, she can tap into you and explain what you've done she worked in the operating room,
Right.
and
25 years in the operating room. And that's really where my skill developed, right? So assisting doctors in surgery and going through traumas with patients and helping them in this way helped me learn the body systems. I remember when I first started school, I just wanted to see inside the body. What could I do to see everything? And once I learned that system, it really helped me to sort of understand how things work. And then my skill energetically just sort of amplified and moved faster. So there are times when I was able to sort of feel someone's body, and I've communicated with doctors, well, maybe this is going on. We should check this other thing as well. And, it's helpful. At first I was afraid to speak up, but then I had doctors tell me, what is it? What do you feel? What do you smell? What do you sense? Because they knew often I was on point and right. And in fact, that skill is what actually helped me read my own daughter's body and discover that she had ovarian cancer and get her the help that she needed before it was a far beyond stage that was incurable.
And what she's not saying is the doctors were not catching it.
They
the
didn't catch
doctors weren't doing anything about it. And Selena saw it when you were doing energy work on her.
I did
right?
energy work on her, and I found it. And it's a wild thing when it's something like that, and it's your own child, because your mind tends to play a trick and wants to say, "Oh, maybe not," and you second guess. But I was so sure beyond all doubt, and I just really pushed those doctors to get her into an ultrasound and an MRI, and I was correct, unfortunately, but fortunate to her that she was rescued.
Yeah, because, the doctors weren't figuring it out. You were able to push and catch it
100%.
before it went really south.
Yes, and then, that led us to our cancer healing journey where really I worked with her every single day doing things like healing tones to help change the vibration of her body. I prayed. I asked everyone to pray from all different faiths. Just please pray, hold my child in prayer. I called in angels. I asked them to be there for her, to work through the doctors, to guide her through the process so that everything came out smoothly. And, to this day, she's 3 years cancer free. She has all reproductive organs, and she's healthier and more vibrant than ever.
She's just beautiful.
And
She's a beautiful soul.
I just thank the source every single day that we went through this journey together, and it helped accelerate things for me to see that is possible for everyone.
Right.
And now I just want to help all of the people. So, when someone comes, they're like, I have this thing going on, and I've been to all these doctors, and I'm like, well, let me look at you, let me read you, and let me see what I feel, and maybe it'll help turn their eye towards some other things that they can explore through further testing.
Right. There's more information if you want to look at like heartmath.org. That's a good source of understanding what this quantum field is and
Sure.
how we're able to literally use prayer to affect. Or you can look up like Lynn McTaggart. She's got some books on intention, and she shares a lot of good information about that. Also Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton. So, and Joe Dispenza. All those people, they really help to define what all of that looks like, because for those of us that weren't raised with this, we're like, I don't even get it. Like when I first
Right.
started understanding all this spirituality, and I was at Agape and they were saying, we're all connected, and I'd be like, you're over there and I'm over here, and I don't get it. And it took me a long time, and it wasn't until I started reading, especially Greg Braden with the Divine Matrix. So if you're interested to learn more about what the quantum intelligence is, those are good sources, and that will help you understand how Selena is able to do the gifts that she's able to do. And you do a really powerful job at it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And one of the greatest examples that I like to use is, how we affect each other. If you came in a bad mood, I'm going to feel that. And often we're feeling the vibes, the vibration through people. They're reverberating a vibe. And so, that if that can affect you, how can healing affect you? What if this person is standing next to you sending you these love vibes or these good feelings or healing intentions?
Right.
How would that affect you? How would you vibrate then?
Right.
It's just exciting.
Another good source of that, I'm sure you've looked at it, but Dr. Emoto,
Absolutely.
he had a whole bunch of information where he would use water. So we'd have jars of water, and then he would literally write on a jar like anger, grief, whatever the different feelings, happiness, love. And he would have people hold these bottles of water, and he would look at the crystals of the water under the microscope. And it was just fascinating. And then they've had experiments where they did healing for water sources, like a river that was polluted. And it's just fascinating because we're very much a lot of liquid, in who
we're a
we
lot.
are.
Mostly water.
Right? And so that's why, what were you saying earlier about that person in a potato chip?
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes I get into people's body and their auric field, and I'm feeling their energy, and they feel crispy like a potato chip. Or I can sense when they've had too much sodium. I taste salt in my mouth, and that's just how it's coming through because there's transference that happens. And so I'm feeling their energy, and I'm going through these things. Oh, what is this? And I know I'm very well hydrated. It's key for me, my 100 ounces of water a day. But when someone's going through that, they feel crispy like a potato chip. Energy doesn't move so well. Organs aren't functioning well when they're not completely hydrated. So it's important that we're having enough water. Yeah, tea. Tea is also water. And so that staying hydrated is important so we can move energy. And then you can feel better.
Right?
Yeah. Please don't be a crispy potato chip.
She said that earlier. Could you imagine having a client and you're like, honey, you're feeling crispy like a potato chip. You better be drinking some more water.
She understood what I meant.
Selena works with us. She works in the office right next door to me. And if I'm not there, sometimes she uses my office. And, it's really great having her around. She's not only excellent at what she does with all the different modalities, but you're just such a fun person. You're a good person.
Thank you. I try to stay down to earth.
Well, you're a fun one for me to play with. Sometimes people have a tendency to be serious, and it's just fun to play with you. It's
Thank you.
Getting silly and goofy.
And back to HMI where we would giggle together and they would be like, shh, quiet, you two ladies in the back.
Maker.
Well, levity is so important.
It truly is.
You laughing, it's like, I think there's a scene in Mary Poppins where everyone starts laughing and giggling and then they can't stop laughing and they float to the top of the room.
Right.
Let's all giggle and laugh together more.
Yeah.
And let's help those around us change that vibration by giggling and laughing and maintaining as well.
Right. So your homework, should you choose to accept it, bring in that laughter, find a way to be lighter for yourself and for others. I think we're all going through a very interesting time, and Selena and I were talking about it, and some of the other practitioners, we were all talking a few days ago. And there's a moment that's happening where there's a lot of heightened emotions.
Right.
People are looking at what's going on in various parts of the world, and there is this overload of different kinds of feelings.
Right.
There's a wide range of it. And then there's also this possibility that we're all looking at what could happen.
Sure.
So it's super important when you're being in the moment and we're using whatever the tools are. So whether you're using your herbs, whether you're using your oils, whatever it is that you're doing, it's really important to keep ourselves grounded and centered and focused. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's like that whole thing with the hurricane. I want you to imagine that these things that are going on around us, it's like there's a hurricane going on around you, and we keep ourselves in the eye of that hurricane. And so that is super important. So use whatever modality, whether it's the levity, and finding something to just be silly about, or all the different herbs. That's an important thing for in this moment in time. So Selena, please tell everybody how to get a hold of you before this next moment is up.
Sure. So, you can reach me at the Newmont Center for Balance Healing also, but in the comments, I'll drop my phone number. I also am on the site heal.me/Selena Kolb, and you can call me at 310-849-0791.
Thank you all for joining us, especially in our brand new studio.
Yay.
Thank you to Miss Becca Hennessy. I love you so much.
Yes.
Ed Hunt, who is the engineer over here. We're starting this new radio station, Newmont Consciousness Network, and they have Conejo Valley Talk Radio. So if you're in the area and you're a practitioner or you're looking to get your message out, this is the place to come. And they have just done an amazing job with everything. I mean, I'm looking at the screen right there.
So exciting.
It's very exciting and it's very professional, and I just can't say enough how blessed I feel and deep appreciation for what we've got going on here. So in the meantime, you guys enjoy your lives, love each other, and I'll be back here again next week on Wednesday with Heather Powers and Sharon Winters. I'm very excited for having them on my show. And I love you all a lot. And we'll catch up with you soon. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
You're watching Conscious Mind Tripping with your host, Audrey Newmont.